Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to PGL Wallachia 2025 Season 5. This is the group stage. We've got OG going up against Aurora. Kiyotaka just gets left alone. But I'm going to have to hold on to that up top. Nightfall actually takes a fair bit of damage on the Swen before going into lane, forced to pop the wand as well. But it's actually down bottom that they get first blood. It's Toronto, Tokyo, and Mira who end up finding the Underlord. A beautiful start to the bottom lane for the side of Aurora. OG gonna be a bit peeved about that, losing severely stunted from what he can do compared to if he doesn't die. So has to be very careful about that. Stormstormer though, they're gonna make a play for Kiyotaka's life. Good toss back, and Daze TP's in on the tusk. There should certainly be a kill on the Storm as Panto comes in. Daze, he's got level 2, he's holding on to a skill point, and he's gonna do that as long as possible, trying to buy time against Panto. Probably gonna skill up the snowball. The Lotus comes through as Panto gets tipped. Panto probably gonna be next as well. And there it is, Stormstormer. A participant of 2 kills courtesy of Daze. Beautiful. And up top, Nightfall. Might be in some trouble here. Daze comes in with the snowball. There's the shards to try and block off the Swen. It doesn't really work, but in the end they do get the kill anyway. Nightfall bites the dark axe. Unfortunately, you can't do much against the Underlord because he's got Firestorm. He can always get some good CS going. But Daze is going to TP in here on the tusk. They're going to try and make a play for Toronto Tokyo, who does not have the boots. He cannot move. They will drop the Pit of Malice, and Aurora getting slaughtered here in the first 5 minutes, courtesy of one very cold Walrus. Oh, Kiyotaka, he's in some trouble. Daze, he's been ice cold on this tusk. Been making things happen left, right, and center. Not a moment to breathe here for the side of Aurora. Toronto Tokyo TPs in, hoping that he could find something. But in the meantime, they've also found the Shadow Shaman down bottom. OG just running in circles around Aurora here in the early game. It's 7.5. And he's halfway towards his phase boots. Gonna be looking for a very early blink as up top, they get a Fiend's Gate and try and take down Nightfall. The only person on Aurora who was having somewhat of a quiet game now has been put 6 feet under as well as the Shadow Shaman shackling, but he might as well be shackling his dick. Like as Sir Action Slacks once said, there's not much to be done here. And oh, I hear a double damage rune being popped. Something's happening in the top lane, and it's gonna be Kadaro. Finally, a silver lining amongst the dark grey clouds that are coloring the skies of Aurora at the moment. Arguably in monochrome, but maybe they can turn things around here. In fact, it's a beautiful avalanche coming through with the Solar Guardian. They actually take down the Storm Spirit. Aurora, they can't get away with anything in this early game. OG just on their beck and call. And it's been complete annihilation from the OG side this game as Mixa has gone for the power treads here on the Dawnbreaker, and he's going to look for Panto again. He was trying to stand in the trees, get some XP. Thankfully a Hex is there. It will stop the Starbreaker from coming in. But with the Fiend's Gate out from Shad, they will most certainly find the kill onto the Nature's Prophet after taking down the tier 1. It's 2 birds with 1 stone here for the side of OG. For another 50-second though. So this is going to have to be a bit labored as the TP comes through. Aurora, they will at least find the Jakiro here, but the question is, can they get out with any casualties? And that's where Daze comes in on the tusk. The snowball and the shards are perfect. It's going to set up for Panto and potentially more here as Mira, he's trying to limp away towards the safety of his tier 1 tower, but there's no safety at all. Not in this game, not against OG, and certainly not against Mixa. The Dawnbreaker does the work. It's a double kill for her. And OG, relentless aggression from them across the map. Daze in a completely different mission though. He's probably trying to set up the Fiend's Gate from the Underlord as Stormstormer will chase with the Shadow Shaman. TP out coming from the Shaman, but it does not succeed. Kadaro is there with the Ice Path, and in the meantime the Fiend's Gate comes through. They're gonna find the Swen as well. Nightfall bites the dust as Mira trying to buy some time on the Shadow Shaman, but he's only delaying the inevitable. It will be Stormstormer who picks up the kill, and Aurora bleeding kills all across the map. The pressure is halfway towards his S and Y, 14 minutes into the game, and Mira still does not have his level 6, and it's unlikely he's going to find it anytime soon here. With another gang coming in from Stormstormer on the Tiny. That's the Blink Dagger done by 14 minutes. We're sort of reaching the interlude here. But OG, they've got a lot more to offer. And it's gonna start here with a potential attempt for Toronto Tokyo's life. He's gonna drop the call along with the Blade Mail, maybe try and find the tusk, but he does not have enough damage. The Culling Blade a bit off the mark. Ice Paths here from Kitaro for good measure, as they will take down the axe. Toronto Tokyo does all he can, but it's not enough. It's just OG through and through here in the early game. And Kiyotaka has to be careful. If he gets caught out here by an Ice Path, he could be in a lot of trouble. But as I say that, Mixer actually ends up finding Panto on the Nature's Prophet, who did manage to steal the enemy shrine as Kiyotaka. He is so low, but he will be able to zip away. Stormstormer looking to close in the gap, but does not succeed. Tree throw off the mark. Kiyotaka will barely survive that on the storm. And finally, the Aurora's Panto's got the Wrath of Nature. They can finally start doing things across the map. And who are they going to hope to find? Well, they're hoping it's going to be Stormstormer. The TP is coming in from Panto, but Nightfall is dropping very, very low. Finally, Kiyotaka here with the boots of travel. They will be able to get the Dawnbreaker here at the very least, but it cost them an arm and a leg. Serpent Ward's committed, God Strength gone, and Toronto Tokyo, he's also had to come in here on the axe with the smoke. Trying to play in the shadows here. Be outside of OG's vision. So you can accrue some net worth, get that BKB going, and stand a better chance against OG, but OG just don't stop. It's Panto who's lost his life now. By the triangle, 5k net worth lead 17 minutes in. And Shad, he's looking to be nearly done here with the... While Kiyotaka doing what he can, cutting these waves, trying to create space, but he might be in some trouble here. Snowballs out from Daze. Kidaro, he is holding on to his Ice Path. He doesn't want to pop it. They will spot out the storm, and they will find the kill. Kidaro, his patience is going to pay off as Kiyotaka loses his life once again. There's been 4 deaths with the Storm Spirit so far, but that's been the least of Aurora's troubles. Stormstormer, he's doing his job. He's found the Avalanche to toss out onto 2. Mira, gonna get slowed down here. Mixer looking to find the kill. Blade Mail's out. Nightfall's here. He's got the BKB flying out on the courier, and maybe they can turn this around, but the Chain Suns are coming through. He's not gonna get a chance to pop the BKB. He finally does use it, but the physical damage is there from the Tiny. And Nightfall's gonna drop. Mira can only stand and watch in the trees. But while this is happening, Shan, he's just gone beast mode in the top lane, taking down the tier 2 all by himself. Fiend's Gate, where's it to? It's out towards the bottom lane. Nightfall gonna try and turn things around here with the BKB and the God Strength, but the Walrus Punch reminds him of who's boss, and it's certainly not him, despite having the BKB. Mixer's gonna find the kill on the Dawnbreaker as Toronto Tokyo tried to come in, tried to help out his buddy, but that call hits absolutely no one. It's a 3-way sidestep from the OG members, and the axe is gonna bite the dust. Aurora, again, just bleeding out kills left, right, and center. They're going to try and gate down bottom, maybe set up some vision so they can catch perhaps a stray Dawnbreaker or a Shakiro off guard. But before that, they're going to lose Panto here. Ice Path was there. Avalanche and Toss ensures the death of the Nature's Prophet. And Dave zipping left, zipping right, zipping forward, zipping backwards. But no amount of zipping can make up for the deficit that this early game has created from the side of OG. Well, okay, it's gonna start off with a good call, but even through the call, the axe is dying. This is not an axe at all. He's a creep at best, as Shad just chops everyone down to size, the Underlord, doing so much damage. And that was supposed to be a big play coming in from Aurora. That was without... So the risk pays off for Mira. But in the meantime, Kiyotaka, he's looking to capitalize off of that. He's trying to find Kidaro, but Kidaro survives with the Solar Crest. And Mira's out of there as well, but Panto, same cannot be said for him. Ultimately, Aurora, they do lose something across the map for that move. And it was their Nature's Prophet, but Kidaro has been found in the meantime. Daze was going to come in. There's the Solar Guardian as they try and turn things around. And the axe is dead. Kiyotaka with the BKB going to try and run away. Zip to the high ground and Nightfall with a beautiful Stormhammer out on 3, turning this game around on its head. Finally, Aurora, they wake up. The sleeping giant is here. He's woken up from his deep slumber. And he's not done yet. OG. Could be huge. Look at the illusion though. It's out here potentially baiting something from the side of Aurora. Stormer, he's just pretending to be an illusion himself. He's gonna blame Kane. Who does he find? It's only gonna be Panto. Avalanche a bit off the mark, and Kiyotaka slaughters the Jakiro in the meantime. Fiend's Gate is out, the Underlord's coming in, but Nightfall is waiting in the wings. Tusk will finally go in, try and take down the Storm, but where's Nightfall? He's actually gating through. He gated through the Underlord's gate trying to fight, but what the hell has he done? He's just gonna walk into so much damage coming out from the side of OG, as I'm not too sure what on earth that was. A completely scattered fight from the side of Aurora. And again, all they found was the Jakiro Kidaro will happily give up his life if it means that OG get to win the team fight. Like a fucking truck. Fiend's Gate, where is it out to? Well, it is out towards the Nature's Prophet. Panto gonna be found and made quick work of as OG gonna look to go back towards the bottom lane. I don't think you're gonna be surviving that. And it seems like it already might be a bit too late. Avalanche tosses out. Can they get Nightfall? No, the stun does not come through from the Dawnbreaker in time. Nightfall trying to turn it around, but the damage! There's so much coming in from all of the heroes of OG. Shad comes in on the Underlord, and it's cleanup time for him. He takes out the Shaman and the Nature's Prophet. 4 dead for the side of Aurora. And well, things are going to be going from bad to worse to absolute shit here. It's going to have to be a Hail Mary play to try and keep your axes up to prevent the Mega Creeps from coming in, but it's all so reactive. And again, that's the big problem in Dota. You can't be reacting to things because this is what happens. You're going to walk into the Underlord who's got the BKB and the Aegis. He does not give a damn about the initiations. And now you've lost your Storm as well, who does not have buyback for another 80 seconds. Level 25 here for the Underlord. And well, Shad, he's not done yet. Daze is going to go in on the Tusk. Toronto Tokyo biding his time, hoping maybe he can keep his teammates alive, but it's not until Nightfall comes in with the Warcry that the Nature Prophet actually gets away. Toronto Tokyo goes in. He's going to be able to find the Tusk to start things off. Dawnbreaker comes in with the Solar Guardian. It connects onto absolutely nothing, and Shad is caught between the TFOs and the trees. But he's got the Aegis, so OG, they get what they were looking for. Although, does seem like they're going to pay a bit of a price for it. Kidaro probably going to be dropping here on the Jakiro, but he might just be able to find Mira before that, and he does. He's got a Glimmer Cape coming back up soon as well. And Nightfall, he comes in and he pops the God Strength. I mean, you couldn't have asked for more from your Jakiro right there. Kidaro absolutely delivers. And again, it's Nature's Prophet at the slaughter here. Okay, I hear a call. Who's it out on? It's onto the Tusk. They're gonna try and find him. They commit the God Strength along with the Dunk, but Storm's here on the Tiny. Shielded up. He's got a lot of barriers to work with. He's not gonna be easy to chew through. Nightfall tries, and his swing does a fair bit of work, but it's not enough. Stormer able to disengage, and now Nightfall without the BKB in some trouble. Satanic gonna get activated, but can he get enough HP back? Well, there's the BKB. Finally, Nightfall will be able to survive and turn things around as he goes back to full HP, and he's even gonna find the Tiny. Hold on, Aurora, they're actually getting things done here. Kidaro's gonna fall next as well. It's only the Underlord who survives this complete massacre, and once again, Aurora, all they lost for that was the axe. Definitely going to be hard if OG decide to make a move. Could be big, but seems like that move has been made for them. Panto actually got a bit greedy there. Not too sure what he was here for. Drops an Observer Ward, and that's crazy. They're going to get the Rosh, they're going to get the banner and the cheese down bottom. In the meantime, Stormer, he ended up finding Nightfall. Nightfall, what are you doing all the way out here? He doesn't have any friends as 5 members from OG surround him and give him a beatdown. It's no buyback for this win. 100 seconds, and that's the window OG have been looking for. And OG, one final smoke to try and close out this game. It's going to start with Panto getting caught out in the pit of malice here. Kiyotaka zipping around, trying to create some chaos, trying to buy some time, but he's not successful in doing so. Panto still might lose his life, or in fact, it might just be Kiyotaka who did not have the BKB, but there's the call out from the axe, buying some time. Toronto Tokyo, though, might just pay for it with his life. Shad drops really low on the Underlord, but there's the toss back from the Tiny as they end up finding the Nature's Prophet. Buybacks galore from Aurora to try and hold on to their base. They've got the Aegis on Shad, but Shad, he's got more goodies to work with as Kiyotaka's gonna zip in. He's got the BKB looking to find Kidaro on the Jakiro, but Kidaro survives courtesy of the Ghost Scepter. Daze in the meantime will find Panto. It's a dieback on the Nature's Prophet, and Mira looking to be next. Swiped down by the Underlord, chopped all to size. Soft Spirit bites the dust. And so do Aurora. Game 1 belongs to OG in the end. As Aurora, they had a few brief moments of brilliance, but it was not enough. It's been quite a while since I've seen it. Very careful here on the bat. Thankfully that 5 base armor will keep him alive, and he's got a bottle coming in down bottom though. They will get the Jakiro. So they end up losing Kidaro there. Can't tell you if that was the case if my life depended on it, but down bottom there is a shockwave and a skewer out onto Kidaro. But it seems like really it's OG who are going to be finding these kills here, as Mira dropping very low on the Shadow Shaman. Wolves running him down. He's going to have another shackle for the time being, healing him back up slowly. Now Panto's here on the Pugna. They will find Kidaro here, but Shat's still relatively healthy. Means a couple of times, then he takes a passive approach to playing the game. And his team really suffers for it. In the meantime though, seems like Aurora are going to make things happen in the top lane. They will be able to take out Daze on the Dark below. Mixa actually misses the chain on the Timbersaw. Nightfall, does he actually want to dive this? No, he does not. Mixa will finally be able to chain away Magnus. And Stormstormer, he's going to arrive. The root actually clips Panto on the Pugna. There's the toss back. And it should be a very dead skeleton, as it's going to be Daze who picks up that kill. The Wisdom Shrine as well. But looks like Mixa is going to have his contested as well. So it's going to be 1-for-1 on the Wisdom Shrines. But Aurora find a kill here, so arguably coming out on top. While the side of OG, very, very strong here. They're going to try and take down this tier 1. But Kidaro gets caught out by the Shackle, and Night falls here on the Abaddon. Kidaro just accepts his fate, drops whatever spells he can, and Shat's going to come in on the Lycan. He's got level 6 now. He can do some work. Try and take out the Pugna. Panto baiting him in, and Kiyotaka in the meantime burning. Or rather, should I say getting chomped on. Should I say getting chomped on by the wolves. But eventually, they back up. Kiyotaka pops the shield rune in time. Will survive the combo coming out from Stormstormer, who was hoping maybe he could find a cheeky kill, but no such luck. But OG, they've got up a lot of heroes here, and Shat's still running. He had the Lycan alt form still going on. Kidaro will finally put a stop to the madness in the mid lane with that Ice Path, but Aurora, they are going to be able to find something off the back of this, and it's going to be the Dark Willow. So a low enemy team. Kiyotaka trying to get aggressive with the Arcane Wound, but it is a bit difficult. Daze, though, he's starting to drop low. Does have the Shadow Realm if need be, but he could get burnt down through it by the Flame Break and with some enough Napalm stacks. Panto will get tossed back and bought down by the ultimate if need be, but they've got the lasso and the shackles. But first, Stormstorm is actually going to spot out the Batrider here. Kiyotaka has to be careful getting chased here by Daze on the Dark Willow with the Bedlam. Oh, but he does not get the Shadow Realm hit off. That's a bit unfortunate. Shad, though, he's gonna pop his ult and try and take down Kiyotaka. The RP is there from Toronto Tokyo. He will hold the Lycan in place for the time being. Skewers there as well, as Shad is now forced to run away. In the meantime, though, it does seem like OG were able to bring down the Shadow Shaman, but at what cost? Because Nightfall's here on the Abaddon, and he's trying to take down Stormstormer, but Stormstormer walks away from that engagement. Shad was forced to pop his shapeshift and run away. Opted for the Alpha Wolves facet. He might just die to the right clicks here. What on earth? He tried to run away. He didn't have the TP, and Nightfall just ran him down. Here on the Lycan in his mid lane. Hopefully this is not a blunder, but it's looking like it might end up being one. With the damage rune and the lasso, they will take down the Jakiro as Stormstormer tries to find the return kill, but he's got no spells, and the damage is just a bit too much coming out from this Batrider. With the amp damage and the lasso and the Dragon Lance and, well, shit, every other spell he has. Nightfall's here though on the Abaddon, and nowadays probably he's not feeling all that bright. We'll try to bring down Mira with the last hit of the Shadow Realm, but yeah, not much he can do. Nightfall does a great job of keeping Mira alive and healthy, and well, that's all he needed, to look out for his teammates. And there's the Ice Path coming out from Toronto Tokyo. He tried to attempt for a skew route, but it's not too successful. Kidaro will lose his life for it though, as Nightfall comes in, and he's just been joining all of these engagements, keeping the side of OG on, trying to force it, but not really do so. Nightfall, well, he's gonna go to work on the tier 2, and in the meantime, Toronto Tokyo has got a little present. And that present is Daze's dead body. As down bottom, they also end up finding Shad. Kiyotaka, that was a solo kill coming out from him, the Lycan. But he's gonna pop a smoke here and attempt to maybe get a kill. Kiyotaka is around, but he is tanky on the Batrider. Not the easiest target to find, but perhaps with the damage coming out from 3 heroes, he can maybe fall, as Nightfall keeps him alive for a little while longer with the Aphotic Shield. Just long enough to allow for the return kill on Stormstormer. But in the meantime, Mixa also ends up dying in the top lane. It was actually Panto and Mira who got that kill with this like an Alpha Wolves facet, but I don't think we've ever been seen it done successfully except maybe twice. And I think it was Falcons who actually ran it. And it looked really good and impressive. As the mid lane, well, they're just gonna lose the Timbersaw right off the bat, and they're gonna lose even more as they find the Jakiro. Kiyotaka just doing so much work here on the Batrider. And look at that. In the meantime, they've also found Nightfall on the Abaddon. OG, they wanted to try and bring him down, but there's the RP from Toronto Tokyo along with the Skewer, keeping the members of OG controlled up. It's a triple kill for Kiyotaka, as Shad trying to run away with the Shapeshift, hoping to TP out, but can they find him? No, they cannot. But look at that, another present. It might just be Stormstormer. You might not get the Wolf, but you can get the Mountain or the Pebble, whatever you prefer to call him, as, well, Stormstormer pulls a book out of Shad's, but damage just was not enough. Not much you can do about that. As Mira in some trouble on the Shadow Shaman. You're gonna find something here if you're OG, but it's a consolation. Oh my god, he was denied by the neutral creeps. What on earth? And in the meantime, you've lost your Jakiro and you've lost your Lycan, and you're gonna lose more. Mixa on the Timbersaw dropping solo. Daze drops the Terrorize, but it costs him half his health because there's a bloody heat. The Pagna ward around, the Nether ward brings him down low, and now Toronto Tokyo's in on the Magnus with the Skewer back. Aurora dishing out the same type of punishment OG was giving it to him in game number 1. And well, the Nether Ward upgrade, or rather the Life Drain upgrade on the Nether Ward on the Pagana Kiyotaka. I mean, he's just on a tear this game. This man putting his team on his back despite the slow start that he had, despite dying in lane, and you have to give credit where it's due. Kiyotaka, this one, the Wolves will time out. And OG, they're gonna get here, but the Aegis is already gonna be gone by the time they do. Kiyotaka, can they get the Aegis? No, Stormstormer! He actually snatches the Aegis! There's still a ray of hope for OG, but is there really? Because Toronto Tokyo's in now on the Magnus with the RP, finding out 2 heroes. Stormstormer, he's gonna come back for round number 2, but there's a round number 2 for Nightfall as well with the borrowed time as OG. That play, it goes really easy on the eyes, but it doesn't do much else. It's Aurora through and through here in game number 2. And well, Shad, he accepts defeat, takes his hands off his keyboard, and it's Kiyotaka who's godlike now on the Batrider. And that's it, GG's called. OG, they tap out, they know it's done. It's over. 22 minutes in, 23k net worth lead. Aurora showing us why they are one of the better teams in the CIS region. In the group stage, the draft is done. It is the spot that OG wanted it to meet in, but that is something rather than nothing. And this is actually a pretty big creep wave with those many creeps, and they might be able to meet down here as those boots are done. Can probably look to take down Mixa or even Daze on the Keeper of the Light. Just one simple pushback from the Flame Break could do it. Nightfall drops the Purification, but the shield is there from Mixa. It's gonna keep the Keeper of the Light alive, but not long enough. Panto eventually gets the kill with the damage over time from his innate. Kiyotaka makes a bit of an attempt onto Daze's life, but Stormstorm was there to protect his Keeper of the Light. And this Siege Creep is going to work here. They are going to be able to get the mid-tier 1. There's the chains coming out from the Ember. The smoke's there along with the lasso. Panto hit level 6 off of the back of that creep wave, and that's enough to get them the kill onto the Storm Spirit. Daze, he's bringing someone over. It's going to be Kitaro on the Jakiro. They want to try and take down Toronto Tokyo here. Wall's going to get dropped. There's the Macro Fire. The rune is going to be found. It's an arcane rune, but the smoke, it's actually going to prevent the storm from zipping anywhere. And they get the kill onto Stormstormer. And now Kiyotaka jumps forward on the Ember Spirit. His storm might not be any good, but his Ember is a thing of beauty. As they... Oh, that sentry. just outside of the range of the Radiant Sentry, so they're going to be able to keep an eye on this Riki, but doesn't even matter. Smoke clouds out. Shad's tanky though, and he's got the battle trance at the ready. He will pop it. Stormstormer's here as well on the Storm Spirit. They want to try and find Kiyotaka, but Kiyotaka surviving with a sliver of HP. There's the repel coming through. Panto also came in with the lasso, and it's 2 cores dead for the side of OG as Daze brings over Mixa in a hurried attempt to try and find some return kills, but Kidaru in the meantime is dropping low. Nightfall's running him down. He's got the Sacred Relic. The damage from this Omni Knight is a bit too much, and he's staying alive with the Purification. It is Saturday here, evening in India. Some would call it Saturday night, but I don't think there's any fever going around just yet. Everyone's still relatively healthy on Aurora. In fact, if someone's sick, it's OG. As they're going to lose the Keeper of the Light as well. Good job. They're getting a bit crazy there on Nightfall, but oh, Shad, he's going to walk into Kiyotaka here. Nice ice spot, buying some time, but the troll, he's silenced up. Inside the smoke cloud, they've got the lasso and they found the kill. Shad, who's having such a good time, has finally been shot down, and they're going to get more here. Kiyotaka gets himself a double kill, and Daze, while Mira continues to keep an eye on what the side of Aurora are doing, in fact, he's going to blink forward and drop a Yule Scepter onto Shad. And he's going to be fine, because there is Nightfall around. Kiyotaka going to pop the haste, and Kidaru might be in some trouble. Chains at the ready. Smoke cloud's going to be dropped. Kiyotaka, okay, now he's going to pop the chains. A bit surprised he was holding on to that. Panto in the meantime, though, drops a lasso, finds Daze, and it's just Aurora all the way through. They're just completely slaughtering the side of OG. Well, mid lane, finally it seems like Stormstorm is going to get something started, but Toronto Tokyo had the repel and runs away, Shad a bit off the mark with the whirling axes. And Aurora able to get the disengage as a result. And now you've got all the vision in the world to work with. You're going to catch out Daze on the Keeper of the Light. There's the smoke cloud, just disrupting the fight completely. Mixa's walking in though on the Abaddon with the Blade Mail, actually pushing back the members of Aurora. Stormstormer jumps in, looking to find Panto, but there's the GA. Keeping 3 heroes alive, but not for long. Daze will eventually find the kill with the Illuminate. As the side of Aurora finally lose their first fight, or have they? Because Kiyotaka, he's back in on the Ember. Mixa doesn't have the borrowed time anymore, so has to be careful. Stormstormer dropping really, really low. He's going to get taken down. The Blade Mail does the work from Kiyotaka. There's the surge. Can he survive? The Purification comes through from Omni Knight, and they've controlled up the Troll Warlord. They've lost the Storm. They've lost the Abaddon, and they're going to lose more. Shad, he's trying to survive, but there's the silence coming through, preventing any chance of a battle trance, but he will move out of the smoke cloud eventually. But look at this. Nightfall, just asking for a high five. He knows he's completely fine here, and it's 4 dead for the side of OG. The Jakiro has for the Ember. They're going to smoke, and the Shad will be the perfect hero to find. He drops the whirling axes, dispels the chains. He's trying to run away. Well, there's the whirling axes range, so it dispels the flame guard. The lasso's going to be out, but there's the battle trance coming through. Shad's going to survive this for a little while longer, but the GA going to keep the Omni Knight alive for the time being. A Shad just in so much trouble. They're going to find the kill. They also found Kidaru in the meantime, while Stormstormer was trying to find a return kill, but he just does not have the damage. Daze going to try and keep himself alive with the Illuminate. The heals are there. Mixes here on the Abaddon. Kiyotaka, though, just being a complete nuisance inside the Radiant base, asking for high fives, and he might just end up finding the Keeper of the Light. No, he does not. The Essence Ring was there. My goodness. OG trying to get whatever farm they can here. But again, Mira just scouting out so much for his team here. Daze, does he have an inkling? Does he feel the body blocks coming through? He did. He's going to drop the Sentry Ward, but it's only going to reveal what he already knew. And that is the fact that he might not survive this. 4 stuff attempted on the high ground. Toronto Tokyo pulls him back with a vacuum. And well, slowly but surely, they will bring down the Keeper of the Light. Kiyotaka comes in with a sleight of fist for good measure, as they get the kill, but has left Nightfall a bit vulnerable up here by the top side. Panto gets taken down by the Storm Spirit in the meantime with the BKB. But look at this, Nightfall, he wants to go back in, he wants to try and find the Jakiro. He does not have the damage though, but Mixa might pay for that. There's a Harpoon at the ready. Kiyotaka, well, he's here with the chains. They're gonna hold the Abaddon in place. Nightfall biding his time, waiting until the pure Hammer of Purity comes back off cooldown, and there's the kill. Scraping by on the Troll. Long way away from his BKB. He's going to try and TP out, but Panto's there. There's the lasso, and they've got the damage, they've got the kill. He's got no target to go on. I mean, what do you even do if you're the Abaddon? Well, he's going to get pulled back into the smoke cloud. As Stormstormer comes in, he's going to be forced to pop the BKB courtesy of that smoke, but if they can find Mira, it might be worth it. But Mira's just running away with the surge, and Stormstormer doesn't like this at all. He's just going to zip out and TP back to base. But again, Mira's on his tail. The TP cancel is going to come through with the Yule Scepter. And I think this might be it. OG, they've just been getting slaughtered for the past 26 minutes. And it doesn't look like Aurora are going to let up anytime soon. With the smoke clouds that you've got no answers for. And there's initiation as well from Panto with the Bat Rider, as he is going to get caught out, but there's the Repel along with the Guardian Angel, keeping the Panto Bat Rider alive long enough to get the lasso up, but there's the Aphotic Shade quickly dispelling it. Shad will pop the BKB, but who can he find? He just has doing no damage whatsoever. Gyotaka's got the Aegis and Shad is staying alive. The Keeper of the Light healing him back up with the Illuminate, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. There's the Whirling Axis, purchase of the Flame Guard. As Gyotaka is trying to find Daze, but in the meantime, Nightfall, he's doing all the damage. He's found Kidaru. Kidaru's going to buy back. He will finally get the Bat Rider. Battle Trance popped by Shab, but he was held up in the air by Mira's Yule Scepter. As the vacuum now comes in onto 3 heroes, it looks rather good. But, yeah, I don't know if OG have any more firepower left to fight through it all. They did really well to last as long as they did, but once the Aegis is out from the Ember, he's back with full HP, full mana, looking to find these kills. Stormstormer, well, to try and keep morale high, he's going to go back in, but all he does is give over a Rampage to Nightfall, and I think this just might be it. GG's called. OG, they tap out, they're done.